Should I travel to Boston or New York City? Boston versus New York City. Which vacation should you choose? Boston or New York City? One is America's most walkable historic city. The other is a city that never sleeps. Both are incredible destinations. Both offer excellent museums, fantastic food, public transportation, professional sports, and waterfront views, but they deliver completely different vacations. So which city should you choose? Let's find out. Quick answer. Choose Boston if you want revolutionary history, a slower pace, New England charm, and a city that's easy to explore on foot. Choose New York City if you want world-famous landmarks, endless attractions, Broadway, iconic neighborhoods, and one of the most exciting cities on earth. Boston feels smaller, calmer, and more historic. New York feels larger, faster, and more energetic. Neither city is objectively better. They simply offer different vacations. The biggest difference between Boston and New York City. The biggest difference between Boston and New York is simple. Boston explains America's beginnings. New York showcases modern America. Boston is about colonial neighborhoods, harbor views, revolutionary history, and some of the oldest streets in the United States. New York is known for its skyscrapers, Broadway, famous landmarks, and one of the most recognizable city skylines in the world. Boston feels intimate. New York feels limitless. Keep in mind that Boston and New York City also have several similarities. Both cities offer excellent museums, outstanding public transportation, historic neighborhoods, fantastic food, walkability, professional sports, waterfront, no rental car needed. Like other cities, Boston and New York City are not in competition. Instead, they help round out an East Coast trip. So, why should you choose Boston over New York City? Here are 3 reasons to consider. Why choose Boston? Reason number 1, revolutionary history. America's revolutionary story begins in Boston. The Freedom Trail, the Old North Church, the Boston Tea Party, Paul Revere's house, Bunker Hill. If Washington explains how America governs itself, Boston explains how America began. For history lovers, few cities in the United States can compete. Reason number 2, Boston is easier to explore. Boston is compact. Many of its major attractions sit within walking distance of one another. Visitors spend less time commuting and more time sightseeing. Boston also serves as a gateway to New England. You can easily add destinations like Salem, Cape Cod, Newport, Portsmouth, or even the mountains of northern New England to your trip. Few major American cities combine urban sightseeing and regional exploration this well. Reason number 3, Boston offers better value. Boston is not cheap, but compared with Manhattan, Boston generally delivers better value. Hotels are usually cheaper, restaurants tend to cost less, and many visitors can comfortably experience the city in 3 to 5 days. Now, let's look at the trade-offs of visiting Boston over New York City. Boston's biggest downsides. Boston has 3 major disadvantages compared with New York. First, hotels remain expensive. The demand simply outpaces the inventory, especially during the peak tourist seasons. Second, the city has fewer attractions than New York City. And third, nightlife is much quieter in Boston. If your ideal vacation involves staying out until 2 in the morning and always having something new to do, New York has a major advantage. Next, let's explore the 3 biggest reasons to choose New York City over Boston. Why choose New York City? Reason number 1, endless things to do. Few cities on earth offer more things to do than New York City. Times Square, Central Park, Broadway, observation decks, museums, neighborhoods, sports, shopping. You can spend a week in New York and still leave with a list of things you didn't have time to do. Reason number 2, the skyline. No skyline in America is more recognizable. The Empire State Building, One World Trade Center, the Chrysler Building, the Brooklyn Bridge, the Statue of Liberty. Visitors often discover that simply walking through New York becomes an attraction in itself. Reason number 3, incredible food. Almost every cuisine on earth can be found somewhere in New York City. Pizza, bagels, street food, fine dining, neighborhood restaurants, international cuisine from every corner of the globe. New York is one of the world's great food cities. Here are 3 trade-offs of visiting New York City over Boston. New York's biggest downsides. New York has 3 major disadvantages. First, it is expensive. Hotels, restaurants, entertainment, and attractions often cost more than in almost any other place in America. Second, crowds are unavoidable. NYC caters to locals, commuters, and tourists, so visitors share the city with everyone else. And third, some visitors find New York overwhelming. The city moves fast, it is noisy, it is busy, and for some travelers, that energy becomes exhausting. The Should I Travel to Boston versus New York City scorecard. Quick head to head matchups. Both Boston and New York City have good weather and infrastructure that make tourists comfortable. Additionally, both are car free paradises. However, they differ in most categories. New York City is expensive, while Boston is a good value city. New York City is more crowded, and Boston has a highly distinctive character. In other categories, we can declare winners. History, Boston wins. Museums, New York wins. Food, New York wins. Skyline, New York wins. Public transportation, New York wins. Day trips, Boston wins, thanks to its proximity to New England. From Boston, travelers can add on nearby destinations, such as Lexington and Concord, Plymouth and Salem. Walkability, call it a tie. Who should visit Boston or New York City? Ideally, travelers will visit both Boston and New York City. Although different, both cities offer travelers memorable experiences. When time or budget requires travelers to pick one or the other, choose Boston if you love American history, you enjoy walking, you prefer smaller cities, you want New England charm, or you're looking for a slower vacation. Choose New York if it's your first trip to the United States, you love museums, you enjoy nightlife, you want iconic landmarks, or you simply want as many attractions as possible. Final verdict: Boston and New York represent two completely different sides of America. Boston offers revolutionary history, New England charm, one of America's most walkable cities, and easy access to the rest of New England. New York delivers world famous landmarks, unmatched energy, incredible food, and more attractions than almost anywhere else on earth. Choose Boston for history, value, and a relaxed pace. Choose New York for excitement, entertainment, and iconic experiences. And if your schedule allows, visit both. Together, they provide one of the greatest introductions to the northeastern United States. Should I travel to? 3 pros, 3 cons. You decide. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and check out our other travel comparisons.